Hey, everybody. It is a beautiful day here in the ATL, and it was cold this morning, but it turned out to be a beautiful day. I wanted to share some with you real quickly. On Tuesday night, as I was preparing for Bible study, I unplugged something in my studio in my office and plugged it into something else, and all the power in my office and studio went out as far as the wall outlets. The main light was still on, but everything else went out. And I was trying to find out what was going on. I went to the circuit box and flipped the circuit breaker. Nothing happened. So I rigged something up and was still able to do my Bible study. And it knocked out my wall sockets, wall outlets, should I say, in my bedroom, in my closet, the lights, the refrigerator, everything was out. And I had to rig it so I could, get things up and running. Well, I got up Wednesday today and I decided that I would call a friend of mine that we call Uncle Dutch. He is a electrician that had been over 40, 50 years as an electrician and helped build a wire up the Mercedes stadium. And so we talked about it, and he told me it could be a couple of things. And so I went to the store and bought 2 circuit breakers. I went and bought 2 wall outlets. I bought a meter thing to test the meter and the power, and some electric tape. And when I got back, I was getting ready to do it. And then I decided, let me take a look on what I call YouTube universe. And I did that. And when as I was doing that, typed in what I wanted to find out about it. And there are several videos, but one video caught my attention. And that video, he said, you've got to understand that many of these wall outlets are connected. They're like a continual extension cord, and they're connected together. And he began to show how they were connected and how one could knock out the rest of them. And so I have a tester to test the wall outlets. And so I went to testing the wall outlets there in my office and studio, and I got to one outlet that sort of sits on the side. I don't really use it anymore. It just sort of sits there, and it's almost underneath the desk, but it's on the side. And I plugged the tester into it, and to my surprise, the clock came on, all the lights came on, the TV came on, all those things. And I was shaking it, then it went out, then I shook it again, and it came back on. And I remember them saying that it could be a loose wire in there that's causing that to happen. Well, once it got back up, I went in the bedroom. Every socket was working. The light in the closet was working. The refrigerator was working. The fan, it came on. Everything was functioning the way it was before. And one of the things that caught my attention in the video was he said in the video, they said you have to understand that one socket with all the connections of the other, that first socket, that was the one that all the others were connected to. If that socket goes bad, it can knock out the rest of them. And I started thinking about that and wanted to share with you about the importance of connections, the importance of staying connected. Because sometimes when we're not connected, we don't understand that things can happen. And that was a wonderful lesson, because I went and bought some other stuff and never would have thought that it was that wall socket, and especially where it's located. But it was the one that caused everything to go out. Even my security camera went out and it was not working. And so that one wall socket with the loose wire and things caused everything else to go out. And so connections are so important for us. We need to stay connected, not just to one another. but connected to God, connected to Scripture, connected to the Spirit of God. And as we stay connected, things will begin to happen, because we understand that one thing can cause a disconnect. And whenever there's a disconnect, sometimes the thing that we need to accomplish, sometimes the things that we want to accomplish, we can't accomplish them because of the disconnect when we should have a connection. And what I discovered with this was that particular socket has things plugged into it, and other sockets and wall outlets have things plugged into them. But because that one was out, the ability to power things on the other wall outlets was not able, it was not able to give power to the TV, to the clock, or to whatever, because of that one socket that it was connected to. Sometimes we don't understand connections are very important. And if we don't stay connected, sometimes we wonder why things don't happen the way they should, because we have become disconnected and there's not a connection. I encourage you, let's stay together. Let's stay connected. We are better together. And we understand that no man is an island. No man stands alone. Even though the other sockets were sockets and wall outlets of their own, they're in a different location in the office and in my room. But that one was one of the things that knocked out the power to the rest of them. Let's stay connected. And if we do, God is going to bless us in a great way. That's all I wanted to say to you. Let's stay connected.